let me share my screen so that, and then we can start. Okay. Yeah, I think someone need to allow me to share the screen. All right. Good morning to everyone in India. Yeah, let me also share my video if I can. At least pin up. Just a sec. All right. Good morning, everyone in India. This is Pradeep Atrey calling from giving a talk from New York, and it is my great pleasure to be with you today. And many thanks to Dr. Singh, my BTech classmate, Dr. Bhanu Pratap Singh, for giving me this opportunity to talk to you. Today, I would be talking about the future of AI and what are the unique challenges we would have to solve in the COVID-19 era. First, let me introduce myself a little bit of background. Yeah, I'm associate professor of computer science in the department in the College of Engineering and Applied Sciences, and also I'm the director of Albany Lab for Privacy and Security, and also acting as a director of the undergrad program in the college. Yeah, just a brief background about me. After completing BTech in '91 with Bhanu, I stayed for India for around 12 years, 11 years, and for a few years, I think one year or so, I worked in industry in India, and then moved to academia. So I spent some time at CR, State College of Engineering in Murthal, and then also at Delhi College of Engineering. After that, in 2002, I moved to Singapore. I went there for PhD. Meanwhile, I did my master's from BITS planning. And in 2002, I moved to Singapore for PhD and spent 4 years there. So it was a full-time PhD program. And then from Singapore in 2006, I moved to Canada for a postdoctoral fellowship at University of Ottawa, and then joined as a professor at a Canadian university called University of Winnipeg. Was there for 6 years, and almost 6 years 6 years ago from now, I moved to New York. It's called the University at Albany, State University of New York. And yeah, so since then I'm here. My research interests are in the area of cybersecurity and privacy, multimedia computing. So AI is not my direct area of research, but I would like to give an informal talk on the future of AI and the COVID-19. Yeah, brief introduction again. So just to give an idea, I'm talking from New York. And New York is like a state. So most people know New York as in New York City, but New York is also a state, and it's a big state. So New York City is here, and so where I am at Albany, which is 300 kilometers from New York City, and it's a state capital. Albany is a capital of New York State, so it's around 300 kilometers. And as far as COVID-19 goes, of course, New York City is the main hotspot. However, we have some cases in Albany area also, but they are relatively quite less compared to New York City. So so we are also affected, but less than New York City. Yeah, so Dr. Bhanu Pratap Singh also asked me to give some insight and share some experience about how we are conducting our classes. So I think for the last 2 months or so, we have been conducting our classes over Zoom, all online, and what we are doing is some of us are recording our video, lectures and posting them in advance, and some are recording the Zoom session, and those Zoom session videos are or then also upload it over a server. It could be YouTube in unlisted mode or something like that, and the link is shared with the student. So that is this is opportunity is provided to the students, because in online setting it may not be like fully interactive or so. So a student would have opportunity to look at the lecture later on, and they can learn better. Yeah, so that's how it has been going on for the past 2 months or so. And for the fall semester also, which will start in August, we are not sure whether it will be face to face or online. As far as exam goes, we have also conducted our exams online in a Zoom session. As I was mentioning to Dr. Singh, that we give exams like 5 minutes before the start of the exam. We may email every student and then hold a Zoom session to conduct exam. Uh, yeah, so we kind of design multiple sets of exam in a way that the level of difficulty is same for all the sets. Only some numbers would change so that we can have some amount of fairness. We have to make it like open book, open internet, because there is no way of stopping them from collaborating if they wish to. We hope that they don't, but we can't stop that. So we have to make it in a way that even if they collaborate, they access internet, or they access books, or open, everything is open. So we have to kind of make it in a way, and still try to judge their performance and give them grades. In a way, we have to be a little bit lenient also. Sometimes, due to this COVID-19 situation, the students could be in very difficult situations sometimes. So if, let's say, some students, they need more time to complete their exam, we can kind of give 15-20 minutes more to them. So that kind of flexibility, again, it depends upon professor to professor how they want to handle it. Okay. All right. If you have any further questions about this, we can discuss it later. So let me then switch back to the talk. Yeah. So my organization called University at Albany, State University of New York. It's also called U Albany or SUNY Albany. I would like to play a short video to give you a brief introduction to the university. And
At the University at Albany, we know greatness. It's in the air here. It beats in the heart of the place, in the hearts of the people. And since 1844, we've kept a promise to provide opportunities to the promising. Together, we've made it possible for so many to dream so big. That's because we believe everyone deserves a chance to realize their greatness. We are the home for the bright, the ambitious, the aspiring. We're an engine of opportunity for hardworking students who take nothing for granted, who know what it means to dig deep, reach high, and rise up. Here we help the dreamers, the believers, and the doers push through boundaries, blaze their own paths, and forge their futures to see the promise of bright tomorrows. Our students are driven by a fire inside and a gritty determination to do the things that matter, to make a difference. They don't shy away from the challenges. They persist. They persevere. They turn their passions into purpose. They seize upon every chance to be better, to shine, and they make no apologies in chasing down their dreams. The world needs greatness, and these are the people, the Great Danes, who will answer the call, and we'll be right here with them, for them, because for more than 170 years, it's been a promise kept, and one that we'll keep for many years to come, because they are our mission. Now is our moment, and this is our time.
this is a brief introduction to the University at Albany. All right, so let's come back to the main topic of the talk. It's the future of AI, unique challenges in the COVID-19 era. Uh, so yeah, everybody knows that what AI is, artificial intelligence. Uh, this is a field of study where we try to make computers intelligent enough to do certain tasks in an automated manner. And AI has been applied in multiple fields, including, financial market or automobile, transportation, airline industry, healthcare, everywhere. You see, we try to kind of automate things using AI. In the current era of COVID-19, the very, very kind of a bad situation these days. Uh, everyone in the world is being affected by this. Uh, and so it is better to stay home, stop the spread, and then save lives. This is the slogan from state of New York: stay home, stop the spread, and save lives in the COVID-19 era. So the question is that how we can use AI to tackle COVID-19 challenges, and that's what we will be discussing in a very informal manner today. We would try to discuss certain issues which are going to be very important in coming future. As you can see that AI we can use for services, and that could be for essential services as well as for non-essential services. Services in addition to services, we would also be looking at surveillance and monitoring, which may be required in the era of COVID-19 to detect COVID-19 affected people, and maybe to trace the other people who were in their contact and isolate them. And for that, we may need video surveillance technologies or thermal sensing or social distancing technologies or contact tracing kind of thing. Also, then there would be some privacy issues which are very, very important to be handled. The other thing which I would like to touch upon is disinformation handling. In the era of COVID-19, it is very important that any fake kind of information should be detected and mitigated, uh, which floats over social media, Twitter, Facebook, etc. All right, so there are some opportunities for AI to be applied for essential services. Essential services will include all the state services like police, and of course, first of all, is the health department, doctors. And can we do something with artificial intelligence technologies to reduce human interaction, um, and which can reduce health risks? Can we have a telehealth system? And actually, some of it is already there. I can tell my experience. You know, uh, since this has emerged in New York, we haven't gone to the clinic, doctor's clinic, and my wife has seen the doctor a couple of times, and that has been through video conferencing. So telehealth is very important. So just not only video conferencing may not be important, but maybe if we can have some way to determine some health parameters of the patient, and that can be kind of monitored by the doctors in a telemedicine way, that would be useful. Not only that, virtual assistants may be required from nurses and all. So what technologies can be developed for those? So AI, definitely there are a lot of scope for AI to be applied for essential services. I know some technologies are being applied, but of course further automation can be done. Then AI can be applied for other non-essential services. For example, lots of service sector. We have retail, supply chain, restaurants, cashiers, servers, even drivers who are delivering, goods and items to different parts of the country. So how we can automate things in a way that there's less human interaction in the era of COVID-19, and because that is the key, we need to kind of reduce it. And then also for education and training, how AI can be used. And this is one example of education and training. Like we are interacting with you using Zoom technology. So there's an article from MIT technical MIT Technology Review, and you can go through this article that lists all the challenges which AI would be kind of able to resolve in this current situation. Okay. So coming back to specifics of surveillance and monitoring, uh, as I mentioned that it is very important to detect the COVID-19 affected patients, and not only detect them but also try to trace their contacts who have been in their contacts, and not only tracing but then also isolate them. And for that video surveillance technologies could be one of the tools which uses artificial intelligence to detect people activities. For example, if can we detect someone is coughing in public using video surveillance technology. And also there are thermal sensing devices by which we can kind of try to find the health of the people, whether they have some fever or some temperature or not. Then these days in many countries, I think in India also, there's an app called something Setu. Uh, yeah, so Arogya Setu, I think. That is used for all the citizens are being asked to download that app. And so that basically what it will do is it will not only basically know your location, and also uh, uh, with whom you were in contact with. And if let's say somebody is found COVID-19 infected patient, you can easily find uh, from all the location data and all the phone data whether you were maintaining social distancing or not, and whether you were in contact of that particular person or not. In China, I heard that this app also allows you to see on your mobile what are the different areas which are like in red, green, or orange zone. And if you move somewhere, your phone will flash and tell you that how many COVID-19 patients were there. So that's a useful app. And of course, the objective of social distancing and contact tracing can be achieved using this. Uh, However, there are very important privacy issues, and the countries which actually care about privacy issues, uh, they need to tackle it in a way that the privacy rights of citizens, they are not violated. And here in these apps, what you're trying to do is you're trying to actually gather data about their location. So they know your identity, they know your location, and from your location and from some of the background knowledge, they can infer so many sensitive information from this data about you. For example, what is your religious affiliation, whether you go to a temple or a mosque. What is your political affiliation, whether you go to certain political party headquarter, or and something like that. And other thing is, it can also reveal your health data, whether you visited a kind of a doctor or not. Okay. So lots of private information can be inferred from this data. So how we can make a balance between privacy issues and the objective of detect, trace, and isolate, that is a key challenge in these kind of apps. The other thing which I would like to touch upon is in disinformation handling. And we need to think hard, like this guy on picture, but we don't need to smoke. It's just for keeping you lively in this talk. So fake information detection and mitigation is very, very important topic these days. Fake news detection, and you need machine learning technologies. Not only that, but also uh, media processing techniques, image processing, video processing, audio processing, because this data could be in any form. Okay, so this is a very important topic. One of the thing which is important here is the fake information can be spread very easily through these social media posts, using Twitters, using Facebook, etc., or blogs. Here are some examples of, let's say there is a tweet, and whether this tweet is really that was tweeted or it is tempered, we don't know. And these kind of Facebook posts would contain these tweets, and many times you see that on social media like Facebook, would be a picture of a tweet which is posted, or there is a statement which is posted, and along with that picture of a prominent personality is posted, projecting that this particular statement has been made by this personality. So it is very important to detect whether this information is fake or uh, it is real. There are other examples also. President Donald Trump was, whether this was tweeted or not. Actually, it was fake. It was not tweeted. Also, from bloggers, you can have certain examples. So, politifact.com is a website where you would find lots of examples, and their fact checking also. There are other examples you can find on different websites. One of them is factcheck.org. This is a real post. Today it came to my Facebook timeline, and it shows that one of my friend tweeted that CNN posted this news that in Germany, in restaurants, people will be wearing the pool noodles to enforce social distancing between them. Okay. So here, important thing is to detect, to attribute, to characterize, and then integrate. So there could be multiple kind of data here, which could be a image or a text or video or audio. It is important to detect. So we did some work here in case of detecting tweets and the picture of the tweet. So let's say if this was tweeted by Bernie Sanders, then there would be a username, a display name, the text content, basically the content of the tweet, and the time stamp of the tweet. So we developed a system where we can take a picture of this and submit to the system, and it will tell us whether this is a real tweet or a fake tweet. Okay. Here I would like to show you an example of this. Right, so this is an app which is being developed, and we'll be launching it soon. By that app, basically you'll be able to take a picture of a Facebook post, and then you'll be able to submit to the system. It will tell you whether this particular tweet is fake or not. Other than that, attribution means you also need to consider context information about stories. Let's say a fake news story is hosted on popular news websites or not, or whether they are posted by unverified users or not. So there are a number of things which need to be considered in order to find out other contextual information about fake content. And then the third one is characterization. We have to be very careful about fake news which is impactful. There could be some fake news which is just for entertainment and fun purposes. However, there could be many fake news which would be very impactful on financial market, or political arena, or something like that. So once we have all this information, how do we integrate that is very, very important thing to do. All right. Yeah, so the hope is that AI can help to live in COVID-19 era, you so much for attending this talk. I would be happy to discuss with you if you have any questions.
तो जो भी अपना क्वेरी सेशंस है, आपको फैकल्टी मेंबर्स को, आपके कोलीग को और जो भी स्टूडेंट है, कुछ लगता है कुछ अपना क्वेरी करना चाहते हैं विद रिस्पेक्ट टू एनी.
Good morning, sir. I'm Dr. Ajay Bharti, and I'm Dean Computer Science at MUIT. Sir, my question is that कि जैसे कि Zoom पे हम सभी लोग जो है कि नंबर ऑफ क्लासेस हमने अरेंज की और जो है और भी दूसरे प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे हमने क्लासेस अरेंज की. उस पे जैसे हमारी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने एक जो है कि एडवाइजरी भी जो है कि Zoom के लिए निकाली थी कि दिस प्लेटफॉर्म इज नॉट सेफ. So, as I've seen that your profile is related to the security. So, sir, मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि how these platforms are secured, how much these are secured, and how much our data is secured, because all of our banking transactions and number of things are going on these platforms. So, I want to know about these facts, sir.
Sure. I think the Zoom servers, they have lots of security issues, and I think one of the issues is that their servers are in China, as far as I know, and anything which is being conducted over Zoom, it's basically it's stored over their server.
Yeah.
So it's strongly recommended that Zoom can be a kind of can be used for educational purposes, for training purposes, but I think for anything which is confidential and sensitive information should not be shared via this platform.
Yes, sir. तो सर क्या जो है कि हमारे डेटा जो है हमारे फोन से या हमारे टैबलेट से या मोबाइल फोन से भी जो है हैक हो सकते हैं थ्रू दिस ऐप?
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. ऐसा नहीं है कि ये ऐप आपके फोन के डेटा को लेगी, लेकिन जूम सेशन के थ्रू जो भी आपका रिकॉर्डिंग हो रहा है या जो भी डिवाइसेस एक्सेस हो रही हैं, वो सब डेटा वहाँ पे स्टोर हो रहा है.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but it's not going to steal any data from your phone.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, this is Sandeep Sharma. The one question from me. Hello.
Yes.
Are you hearing, sir?
Yes.
Sir, as we are talking about tracing the masses, can we have some forensics types of techniques can be involved in tracing the? Just you show me the Twitter like API, and can we say the API of Twitter and other Facebook? We can breach some technology, and we have some authority to handle this type of tracing the criminal message or videos online.
Yeah, so I think your question is whether the fake information floating over
definitely.
social media, whether we can trace it or not.
Trace it, and we can legally we can apply the cyber laws on some tracing like forensic science, we can say.
Definitely there are some legal aspect of it, and every government has some laws about it. Right, so I think we have to be very careful in sharing those posts which we are not confident about whether they are fake or not. Right, so but I think what we can do to stop is not share them and just kind of discard them and ignore them. Other than that, whether it is fake or real or not, so let's say if it is a Facebook post, so unless Facebook implements your technology or your algorithm into their system, it will be very hard to kind of know that whether it is fake or not. So that is why the app or the system we are developing is outside of that system. That means you can take a picture of using your mobile phone, you can take a picture of any Facebook post from the
Okay.
screen, and then
Okay.
app will process itself whether it is a fake or not.
So it is a technology involving a machine learning like that.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes,
Machine learning algorithm to tracing the text.
right.
We just
So,
tracing the text. I think it is very difficult to handle the videos and images also.
right. So what we are doing is we are taking the picture of the tweet. So it's a picture
Okay.
which contains certain
Okay.
text, of course.
Okay.
So first we are looking at the text part, and text part also can be
Mhm.
in different forms, like it could be username, display name, tweet content, and timestamp, etc. Then we are our app is submitting a query to the Twitter database to see whether that tweet really exists or not, and whether the different fields are matching or not. But tweet may also contain different media. For example, it could be an audio or it could be a video,
Yes,
and
sir.
it could be a picture of a person. So processing those kind of data is also challenge, and it is one of the uh, future thing, which future aspect of this, which we will be looking into.
Okay. Very, very thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Very important. Okay.
Sir, this is Aditya Prashant from MUIT Noida campus.
Mhm.
Sir, I have a question regarding exam. Sir, are you getting me?
Yes, yes.
Sir, actually, I have a question regarding exam. So we have decided to take sessional exam, through online mode. So we'll be setting. We have planned to take sessional exam like this. Sir, so I have a question, sir. Like you suggested us to go through open book examination and set the paper in different manner, and we changing the value of the question and giving it to students. So
Mhm.
rather than, can we do this? We can take exam of students, and we can ask take a viva session of them, all of them, regarding few of the topics which we are asking in the question paper, so that we can be sure that that particular student has written answer by himself or not.
Sure. I mean, that is an alternative. Of course, you can conduct a Viva over
Right.
Zoom or video conferencing session, if
And we
it can. Right.
can we divide this in kind of weightage, like we can give weightage to writing 70% to writing part and 30% to viva part, and then we decide, we judge students basis that.
Yeah, that is possible. But I think one thing we strictly follow here in the US is the syllabus which has been provided. The syllabus means the course outline, which has been provided to the students in the beginning of the semester. That has to be followed as much as possible. So that means
Yeah.
in the beginning of the semester, we provide that, okay, these are the topics which are going to be taught, and then this will be the evaluation criteria. 30%
Okay.
final exam, 10% term test, 40% homework, etc. So if we do like at this stage, if we do major changes in that, it could be in some way students may complain and it may be unfair to them. So for this semester we haven't changed much, so that's why we conducted exams in the fashion which we are doing. Uh, However, for the future offering of the courses, we can decide our course outline and grading criteria in advance, and if students are happy with that, they will register into our course. However,
But
changing the evaluation criteria in the middle of the semester or towards the end of it, uh, some students might feel that they are being treated unfairly.
okay. But sir, somehow we have to judge them now, because we can't know that how and from where they are
Right.
writing the answers
Of
actually.
course, yes. Yeah, I can understand. I think in Indian setting, Indian universities, uh, probably you have kind of more regions and more kind of authority to change all these course outline and grading criteria maybe anytime, and a student would accept that. But here in the US, we are not kind of allowed to do so many changes.
Okay.
But if you can do it, students are happy with that. Of course, I think that could be another way to judge them.
I mean, that will not be followed as a strict pattern, but for
Yeah.
for our faculty's sake, we can we can follow this to just students for this semester only or for this particular exam only. For major exams we have the same pattern of waiting for practical and theoretical session. We strictly
Right.
follow that.
Yeah. So I think my other suggestion is that in this situation, in this the current situation of COVID-19, we have to be sympathetic. We have to show some sympathy and lenient towards the student, and make sure that students do not suffer, they may not be treated unfairly due to the situation. So any benefit of doubt should be given to them. At the same time, we have to make sure that everybody is doing fairly. They are not indulging in any unfair means. And I think main focus is that whether they are learning or not.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
ठीक है, मेरे ख्याल से आप कोई और क्वेरी किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन आंसर नहीं तो हम अत्रे सर से रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे। बहुत बहुत उन लोगों ने सर ने टाइम दिया हम लोगों को और बहुत बहुत थैंक यू सर का। और उम्मीद करते हैं कि इन फ्यूचर में भी हम लोगों से टच में रहेंगे और जब हमारी रिक्वायरमेंट फैकल्टी मेंबर के रेस्पेक्ट में, स्टूडेंट के रेस्पेक्ट में होगी तो सभी फैकल्टी मेंबर स्टाफ को मोटिवेट करते रहेंगे टाइम टू टाइम और हम लोगों से टच में रहेंगे।
श्योर, थैंक यू सो मच।